September marks National Suicide Prevention Month, a time to honor and mourn those who have fallen victim into suicide and those who may be struggling. To those experiencing suicidal ideations, help is never limited and accessible to all. Throughout these next few minutes, we will share stories of those who have been affected by suicide loss and their journeys into healing. I'd like to personally thank National Alliance on Mental Illness, or NAMI, for collaborating with us and spearheading initiatives allowing this to happen. This video is dedicated for those who have lost someone at the hands of suicide and the Fort Lee community.
Hi, my name is Alyssa Benecki.
My name is Devin Tomiak.
My name is Eileen Vorbach-Collins.
In 1997, I lost my twin brother Andrew to suicide.
Grant was 28 when he died by suicide.
25 years ago, my daughter Lydia died by suicide a month after her 15th birthday.
Andrew was a very upbeat, outgoing, life of the party guy who always had a million friends over, and we were all truly shocked and stunned when he died. As his twin, I had some innate sense that maybe something was not quite right with him, but I never asked whether he was depressed or struggling or considering suicide, and so he never reached out to anybody.
Lydia was brilliant, kind, artistic, and so very sensitive. Lydia's death had a profound impact on our family. It changed the trajectory of our lives. We'll never know what we'd have been like if Lydia had lived, but it's certain our lives would have been better with her in the world.
I'm honored to talk about my brother Grant to support Suicide Awareness Month. He was gifted as a chef. He was full of charm, wit, creativity, and talent. He was surrounded by friends and deeply loved by our family. On the outside, he seemed happy and successful. But Grant's death was a reminder that even those who appear to have it all together can be carrying unseen pain.
It changed the trajectory of everybody's lives that he was close with. It made me a very compassionate and empathetic person because I learned the lesson from him that you don't truly know what other people are going through. And so you therefore have to treat everyone with love and kindness and grace.
When I think about Grant, the first thing that comes to mind isn't all the accolades he earned as a chef, though there were plenty. No, what I remember most about Grant was his humor. He had this way of lighting up a room. As a kid, he was forever in costume. One day Jean-Claude Van Damme, the next a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, then Batman, and then, just as importantly, Bruce Wayne, in a full suit with slick back hair. That playful, joyous spirit was the very heart of who Grant was. Losing him shattered not just my world, but my understanding of the world. It showed me how invisible struggles can run deep, and how little we sometimes know about the battles others are fighting. His death changed me, and it has shaped everything I've done since. Losing him was why I became a counselor with the National Crisis Text Line, sitting with people in their darkest moments. And it's why I now work as an academic life coach, helping teens and young adults build resilience and find a sense of purpose and hope.
One key takeaway I had over the years from his loss is that it does get better. I think Andrew was stuck in a place where he thought the way things were right then is the way they were always going to be, and it wasn't going to change. I had that same feeling a few years before he died and tried to take my own life, and I can tell you now at 28 years later that your life is going to be very different in 5 or 10 or 15 or 20 years, and so to not give up hope, and to reach out to someone, anyone that you can tell that you're struggling and that you need help, and that you are not quite sure even if you're going to make it through the night. And if the first person isn't as helpful or what you need, then keep reaching out until you find somebody who does, because things truly do get better, and you're still here, and you need to do what you can to make it through to the next day, because the one thing I've always sensed from Andrew is a deep sense of regret that he made the choice that he did because of the effects it had on everybody else's lives, and also, understanding that life truly does get better. Thank you so much.
Every September during Suicide Prevention and Awareness Month, I see slogans telling me to know the signs. Because if only I know the signs, I can prevent suicide. Let me assure you, I knew the signs. I'd worked as a psychiatric nurse, and years later, Lydia had several psychiatric hospitalizations. Oh, I knew the signs. If only it were that simple. At the Alliance of Hope, an organization created by survivors for survivors, September's slogan is "Suicide is complicated," because sometimes there are signs and sometimes there are no signs. So when Matthew Kim reached out to ask me to make this video, I gave it a lot of thought. A student initiative, no professional at the helm, no faculty advisor, no one with an advanced degree or counseling experience. I looked at the website, Youth Stability and Support Alliance, and wondered, how are sour candy, rubber bands, and fidget toys going to prevent someone from taking their life? That seems so simplistic, and suicide is complicated. One moment in time, one impulse, to borrow from Robert Frost, to take that road less traveled, is all it takes to set you on another path. A path with many roads you never imagined. Sure, some will be painful, full of thorns, barbed wire, landmines, but others will be glorious. I recently read a novel, The Midnight Library, where the protagonist, a young woman named Nora, struggles with a lifetime of depression and suicidal ideation. Nora feels worthless. She's convinced the world would be better off without her. Maybe you've felt that way. But what if you could get past the moment? What if you could snap a rubber band on your wrist, feel the sting of it instead of the cut? What if sour candy worms on your tongue could distract you from the taste of despair long enough to let you recall the sweetness of your last birthday cake? A sunrise, a hug from a dear friend. I spoke with Matthew and asked him lots of questions. He has a vision, and he wants to make a difference, and I think he will. The Youth Stability and Support Alliance may not prevent someone from taking their life. Then again, maybe, just maybe, it will. And the possibility fills me with hope. Thank you.
If you are struggling, please know you are not alone. Reaching out for help is not a sign of weakness, it's an act of strength. And if you love someone who is suffering, your steady presence and willingness to listen can make a difference. Grant's life and his loss continue to guide me. My hope is that by sharing his story and by the work I do now, I can honor him and remind others that there is always light, even when it feels impossible to see. Thank you for listening.